With the massive success of Jurassic Park, a sequel was inevitable. So Michael Crichton got to writing, and after that, Steven Spielberg got to filming. What we got was The Lost World, Jurassic Park. This time, dinosaurs and man are thrown together into the wild, and naturally, it quickly becomes a daring fight for survival. Having the longest runtime out of all the movies, The Lost World definitely has its fair share of moments. So today, I'm going to talk about my top 10 favorite moments in The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Remember, it's based on my own opinion. Here we go! Compies. One of the things I liked about The Lost World was that it featured new dinosaurs, and one of these dinosaurs was the Compsognathus. When Dieter saw one, he decided to bully it with a taser. But you know what they say about karma, and Dieter got what was coming to him. The Compies completely slaughtered him, picking him down to the bone. What's also interesting about this scene is that it's a nod to how John Hammond died in the Jurassic Park novel. It just goes to show that there's strength in numbers and that size doesn't matter. The Stegosaurus. When it came to the first Jurassic Park movie, we never got to see the Stegosaurus, which is interesting because in the Jurassic Park novel, the characters actually find a sick Stegosaurus rather than a sick Triceratops, but the movie gave us the Triceratops instead. So due to popular demand, Steven Spielberg decided to include the Stegosaurus in The Lost World. I liked watching the Stegosaurus herd come out of the trees, and of course, listening to Malcolm's jokes. This scene illustrated that dinosaurs were nurturing parents that protected their young, a theme which was explored a lot in this movie. As much as I enjoyed the Stegosaurus appearing, I really enjoyed watching them go after Sarah. I didn't dislike her, it was just so cool to watch. Just imagine if that tail actually connected with her. Overall, this was a great scene to showcase a new dinosaur, and to show that herbivores can be dangerous too if you push hard enough. Learning to kill. Simply put, I enjoy this scene for two reasons. 1. The T-Rexes. 2. It showed the downfall of Peter Ludlow. God, I hated him. He was your typical corporate snob, and his death was probably the most satisfying one in the series. Why? Well, I'm sure many of you have had to deal with someone like Ludlow at some point in your life. I know I have. This scene sort of says take that to those kind of people. That greedy SOB got what he deserved in this heartwarming father and son moment. The Game Trail. This scene gave us lots of new things. New vehicles, new dinosaurs, and new characters. One of them being the best new character in the movie in my opinion, Roland Tembo. His monologue was gripping and really set the groundwork for his character. Then right after that, the scene went straight into action, showing us many dinosaurs in this scene, like the Pachycephalosaurus, the Parasaurolophus, and even the Mamenchisaurus. As nice as it was to see these dinosaurs, it was just as unpleasant watching them be captured for the sake of making money. The music in this scene then sounds saddening, sort of relaying the message that it's wrong to abduct animals from their home. All the same, it's still an enjoyable scene. Camp Sabotage. When the hunt was over, the dinosaurs were all rounded up in cages bound for the mainland, but lucky for them, Nick Van Owen and Sarah were there to set them free. It was neat seeing all the different kinds of dinosaurs that the InGen hunters rounded up, especially the Triceratops, which is one of my favorite dinosaurs. Instead of seeing a sick one, we got to see one in action. Ludlow's blabbing on about making InGen more money, and BAM! The trike comes out of nowhere. It was awesome watching it smash through the camp and flip over a Humvee. That's what I call crashing the party. As you can probably tell, I like this scene because it particularly showed the Triceratops in action, and that's good enough for me. T-Rex in the tent. As much as I enjoy this scene, it's kind of silly as to how this scene came to be in the first place. It all happened because Sarah decided to keep food and her blood-soaked jacket in the tent, and that ultimately resulted in the T-Rexes finding them again. Hasn't she ever heard the saying, never store food in your tent? Or a blood-soaked jacket for that matter? I guess not. Well, this scene wastes no time and goes straight into action, quickly turning into a classic dinos chase humans scene, and the T-Rex adds to the body count along the way. This kind of scene has become synonymous with these movies, and you can't go wrong with that. Ripped apart. You can't talk about The Lost World without talking about this scene, because we all remember this scene, where Eddie gets ripped apart by not one, but two T-Rexes. This scene once again showed us the awesome and destructive power of the T-Rexes. They destroyed the car as if it was made out of Lego, and then proceeded to rip Eddie in two. This scene is often regarded as one of the most brutal deaths in the entire franchise, and the most brutal death in the movie. It was very creative as well. Sure, it sucked that Eddie died, but his death created one of the most memorable moments in The Lost World. Let's give him a hand. Or two. Raptor attack. You can't have a Jurassic Park movie without raptors, and this scene did not disappoint. This scene had action, it had suspense, it had raptors. We got to see the vicious, aggressive hunters go full force. Now, I like this scene for a few reasons. It's kind of weird, but one of the reasons why I like this scene is because it gave us new raptor sounds that we never heard before. I'll play a couple of them. I also like this scene because we got to see a whole new look to the raptors, which is my personal favorite design out of all the movies. Both the sounds and design of these new raptors gave us a whole new kind of raptor to see. I could have done without Kelly using her gymnastics to kill a raptor, but credit should still be given where it's due. After all, she killed a raptor. Overall, this scene was cool, fast-paced, edge-of-your-seat fun, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Rex in San Diego. I know this scene has nothing to do with the Lost World novel, but hey, if it means we get to see more T-Rex scenes in the movie, then so be it, and we got to see a lot of them here. The T-Rex in San Diego was a clever way to show the T-Rex in a new environment. Here it caused chaos, fear, and destruction, and even claimed a few victims. We got to see the T-Rex do what it does best, and that's why I like this scene in particular. This scene goes on for a while, too. Partly due to this scene, the T-Rex is actually the movie's most filmed dinosaur, and how appropriate, because people love the T-Rex in Jurassic Park so much that Spielberg gave us even more of the T-Rex in The Lost World. Thanks, Mr. Spielberg. Mommy's very angry. The scene that reintroduced us to the T-Rex after 4 long years. After seeing such awesome T-Rex scenes in Jurassic Park, what kind of scenes would we get in The Lost World? Throughout the movie, the thought at the back of most people's minds was, when's the T-Rex coming? When the T-Rexes roared and when that car went flying, we knew what was coming. Just wait for it. Wait for it. And there it was, in all its awesome glory. Or should I say there they were, because we got 2 T-Rexes. Just like the Stegosaurus scene, we got to see these dinosaurs as nurturing parents that cared for their young, which was very interesting to see, especially coming from a T-Rex. One of the things I've noticed about this scene is that the T-Rexes made different sounds that we've never heard before. They really made them sound wild. Now, I know that the T-Rexes don't really do much at this point in the movie, at least until they smash the trailers, but I think it's the build-up that made me appreciate this scene the most. For a long time, we were waiting to see the T-Rex, and this is the scene that finally gave it to us. It was definitely worth the wait, because after that, the T-Rex would take center stage and give us some of the most memorable moments in The Lost World. And that wraps up my list of my top 10 favorite moments in The Lost World, Jurassic Park. What are your favorite moments in The Lost World? Talk about it in the comments. Thank you for watching another video by Jeremy James Pruchik. Check out my other videos too. I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to me too. I promise to keep the content coming. See you next time.